What's going on, everyone? This is Jay from Premier Gaming Entertainment, here to bring to you my takeaway and analysis video for this Week 2 matchup versus UNLV. First, leave me a comment in the comment section below. What did you think about the game? Are you excited from what you saw? Are you disappointed? Are you somewhere in between? Let me know how you felt about the game in the comment section below. I myself, personally, I'm going to get into it. Obviously, it's 35-7. The game was pretty much dominated by Michigan. UNLV scored a touchdown late in the game with, the backups in, so whatever. It's almost like versus ECU where they scored, not as bad, but still, scoring when, the backups are in, and, they're just trying to not get shut out. So whatever, it is what it is. Obviously if Michigan had kept their starters in, the score would have been higher and the UNLV wouldn't have scored. But that's not important. My first observation, JJ is still continuing to look really, really sharp. I'm not just saying that, I know it's UNLV and all that, but the throws that he's making, he wasn't making those type of throws last season. And it's not that he doesn't have the ability, obviously he has the ability to do it, but, just the timing is down, the footwork is there, the confidence is there, and it looks like he's just been able to put everything together. And I'm really, really, really impressed with how he's looked for these first couple of games. He's really only missed, 4 or 5 passes all season? So, actually no, it's a little bit more than that. He missed 4 last game and 3 this game. So I'm sorry. So it's 7 passes he's missed in 2 games, which is exceptional, regardless of whoever the opponent was. So, while I'm happy with that, I'm kind of disappointed in the run game. We're not running it as dominantly as I would have figured we would have did versus, 2 opponents that I figured that we'd be able to run on. Now, to be fair, I'm pretty sure that teams are going to, try and stop our run game, get extra men in the box to try and shut that down. So that may be what we end up seeing all season long. And that's fine, because the way JJ is passing the football right now, he's just killing it. So it's like pick your poison. Would I prefer us to have a better running game overall? Yes. But to be honest with you, I'm kind of happy with it being that our passing game is the way it is. Like I said, take it with a grain of salt is ECU and UNLV. But if I can get this type of accuracy, this type of balance from the offense as a whole, I would rather us be more balanced and be more proficient in the passing game than to have a super duper dominant running game. Because let's face it, the running game, having it is great, is a great model. If you have a certain game plan that you're going to just dominate in the trenches, dominate running the football, wear your opponent down and all that, that's great as long as you have a lead or the game is close. But if you have to come from behind, if you're losing, obviously that whole thing goes out the window. So, the argument for the last few years has been, well, if they can't run the football, can they really pass the football? And our argument has always been, oh, well, we never really needed to pass it, so, but if we had to, we could. So, for the most part, that has been true. But obviously against Georgia, when we played that playoff game, we got exposed because we couldn't do it. And then in the TCU game, uh, and even early on in the Ohio State game, they they stacked the box. They made it so that we couldn't run the football, and we had early struggles because of it. Now, no, obviously in the Ohio State game, they got burnt from the deep ball from JJ because of them selling out to trying to stop the run at all costs. So it's like pick your poison. I would rather us kind of be at a steady between the pass and the run, be as good at each as possible, even if that means our run game may diminish a little bit. I'd rather have our pass game step up than just have this whole thing where 70-30 running versus passing. So overall, I'm happy with the outcome of the game. Obviously, we could have scored more. We could have pitched a shutout, but it is what it is. We came out with the victory. But the one thing I do want to talk about that I was really concerned about, thinking about this and this going forward. I don't know how good Tuttle is as a quarterback, but if anything happens to JJ, we're in trouble. And I really mean, like, this game, obviously, the game was a blowout. At the time, it was 35-0. Michigan, pulled pretty much everybody to, foot off the pedal. I get all that. But if JJ, for whatever reason, gets hurt, who are we putting in there? And whoever we do put in there, are they really capable of leading this team to a championship? Because that's what it boils down to if anything happens to JJ. And I don't know if that's even, I don't even know if that's a thing. I'm really concerned about that. And, for the most part, JJ's been pretty clean, but, last game, he took a big hit, albeit it was his fault. Instead of running out of bounds, he tried to make some Superman play and got hit helmet to helmet. I mean, that's something where, he could have got injured. He could have got a concussion. When I saw that play, I thought about Dylan McCaffrey and what happened to him. And, even this game, it wasn't, he didn't really get hit, but some guy fell on him and wrapped up his legs and, something crazy could happen. And if it does, who is going to be his replacement? Is it Davis Warren? Is it Jack Tuttle? I don't really know. And even you saw in the game when they did take out JJ and put in Tuttle, he ended up getting hurt. He said he was okay, but still. That's the biggest thing that worries me about this team going forward. That and the running game overall, not really showing the dominance that I thought. Donovan Edwards didn't look that great in the running game. He was like six rushes for 9 yards, 1.5 yard average. And one thing I've noticed from Donovan, while he is more of a home run hitter, faster than Blake is, to me, Blake is just the stronger back. And I think that's why when there's goal line situations, you always see Blake in there as opposed to Donovan. Just like when you see Blake, for the most part, if he gets hit, he's still going to fall forward and give you about maybe 1 or 2 yards or more. Like his legs are always churning. He doesn't go down right away. He might drag 1 or 2 defenders like 3 or 4 yards. While Donovan, it seems like, and I don't know if other people notice this, but it seems like when he gets hit, he goes down right away. There's no real power to his game. There's no breaking tackles or dragging defenders with Donovan. It's just he can make a guy miss. He's got blazing speed, but once he gets contact, it's pretty much a wrap that he's going down. I've seen it where, I know if it was Blake, he would have got an extra 1 or 2 yards. So overall, the running game has been a concern. Like I said, I would have expected more dominance from these two teams. But I guess it's a work in progress. You got two guys coming in that, are transfers. So you got to expect things to kind of work itself out, gel together eventually. But so far, they haven't looked like a Joe Moore award-winning Lion so far. Pass protection was much better this game, but run blocking, not so much. Excuse me. Defensively, obviously we played much better. 5 sacks. So the defensive line was getting at it, causing a lot of pressure, causing a lot of havoc. Getting at the quarterback, causing a lot of pressures. So definitely pleased about that. So that's a good sign. Hopefully we can continue that next week. But overall, the team is playing at a high level. I guess it's one of those things where once you get to a certain point, you just basically just pack it in, try to get out of the game, try not to get anyone hurt as much as possible, and just move on to the next game. It doesn't really matter if you win 100-0 or 35-7. A win is a win, and as long as you get accomplished what you need to get accomplished, as far as getting plays in, getting guys certain guys reps, getting your timing down, as long as you're getting all that stuff accomplished, it doesn't really matter to me what the score is, as long as you get the victory. So, like I said, I'm pleased so far with how we played so far. Obviously there's things that we need to work on, but all in all, I feel comfortable with how this team has played so far. We haven't been tested. So there's a double-edged sword with that. Obviously, the pro is you have an ability to if there's things that you got to work on, if there's certain guys that need rep, if there's guys that are injured that need rest, then all this gives all the opportunity to be sorted out before you really get into something big. But on the downside, when you actually have to be tested, are you going to be battle ready? So that's the double-edged sword from that. Obviously, it didn't, for the most part, didn't hamper them last season, and I doubt it's going to hamper them this season. So when Harbaugh comes back, he's going to have everybody ready when it's time. So overall, I'm not concerned about that, but we got to get the running game going. That's the key thing. Now, if this is going to be the way it is, but the passing game is going to be 300, 400 yards and be as proficient as it is, I would take that any day over the running game being the way it was the last few seasons. That's just my personal opinion. So, anyways, that's it for the video. Leave me a comment in the comment section below. Let me know how you felt about the game. Please leave a like on the video. It definitely helps my channel. I really appreciate it. Share the video with as many people as possible. And if you enjoy my content, definitely subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Anyways, thank you for watching the video. And as always, go blue.